I'm Lindy from GLiB Games. Welcome to The Best Medicine, where you're a junior scientist trying to collect the most awards over 3 rounds. You'll collect award points on award cards, completed experiment tubes, and by having money at the end of round 3. To start the game, give every player a laboratory mat, a flask, $11, and a draw bag filled with tokens. In the bag, there are 3 types of tokens: colored compounds with dots on them, contaminations, which are gray or black tokens with the hazard symbol, and 1 wild compound. The distribution of tokens is identified on your player aid. Each round is played simultaneously in 2 phases, the research phase and the reward phase. To begin the research phase, say "Research, ready, go," and everyone starts drawing tokens out of their bag. On any round, if the first token you draw from the bag is a contamination chip, return it to your bag, shake it up, and draw again. Repeat this process until you draw a safe compound to place in your flask. Continue drawing tokens out of your bag and sliding them into your flask. If you draw a contamination, place it in your contamination chamber. If you ever have 3 gray contamination chips or a gray and a black contamination chip on your laboratory mat, your lab goes into shutdown and you don't score any experiment tubes on that round. During the research phase, you'll spend money to buy experiment tubes and pour your flask. At any time, drop $2 into the bank to buy an experiment tube from the market and replace it with the next tube from the experiment tube deck. If none of the tubes look useful to you, you may spend $2 to wipe the whole market and replace all of the market cards with new ones from the deck. Drop $1 into the bank to rotate your flask and pour compounds into experiment tubes. Always pour from the top to the bottom and fill tubes from the bottom up. Any compounds that aren't useful to you right now can go into your recycle beaker and you'll get them back at the end of the round. You may pour as many compounds as you like during a pour, even buying new tubes in the middle of a pour. Rotate your flask back into the vertical position when you're ready to start drawing from your bag again. To begin another pour, spend another $1 and rotate your flask again. The wild token is special. It pours into your flask like any other compound, but when you pour it out of your flask, you have 2 options. You may use it in place of any colored compound in an experiment tube, or you can pour it into your recycle beaker to clear 1 contamination token, either black or gray, out of your contamination chamber and return it to your bag. Keep drawing, filling, buying, and pouring until you run out of money, go into lab shutdown, or choose to end your turn to avoid a shutdown. Once all but 1 player has ended their turn, the round is over for everyone, and it's time to move into the reward phase. To begin the reward phase, return all compounds from your flask, contamination chamber, and recycle beaker to your bag. Any player that has not had a lab shutdown will score rewards for their completed experiment tubes. Players who experienced a lab shutdown will leave all of the compounds on their experiment tubes and not score any points this round. But there's a little benefit to them. For the following round, they'll remove the black contamination chip from their bag and put it in their recycle beaker to reduce the likelihood of them shutting down again. If you do shut down again by drawing 3 gray contaminations, remove a gray contamination chip so there's no chance of you shutting down a 3rd time. If you have a successful round after removing your black chip, return the chip to your bag for the following round. To score a completed experiment tube, return all of the compounds on it back into your bag. At the top of your card, you'll find the award value. If you see a trophy symbol, you'll add that card to your trophy case. If there's a gold draw symbol, draw an award card and add that to your trophy case. At the bottom of the card, you'll find a grant value. If there's a $sign, collect that amount of money from the bank. If there's a green draw symbol, draw a grant card and collect that amount of money from the bank. After the reward phase, move the round tracker to the next round and get ready for another research phase. If you're starting the round with less than $7 total, draw up to 7 before you start. At the end of the game, all players will count up the award points in their trophy case. Plus, every $10 you have at the end of round 3 counts as 1 additional award point. Whoever has the most total award points wins. In the case of a tie, whoever has completed the most experiment tubes wins. If there's still a tie, the player with the funniest completed experiment tube is the winner. Thanks for playing The Best Medicine.